Hey everybody, welcome back to Hardcore Fab Channel. Today's video, I guess we are now at 5 o'clock on Thursday, which is
12 hours later than when we were planning on leaving.
Yep, and we're still here at the shop. There's the big building. And we are also a day late with the video. But
we've been pulling some long nights. I'm a mess. Ignore how I look. I don't know if I've slept, so you know, there's that. Anyways,
we've got a lot that we've done on the bus, and there has been some problems and been some issues, and I guess we'll just kind of throw you into the mix here and let you watch and see what's happened along the way and how we got to this point. All right, so we're bored with sanding. We are getting somewhere with the color on this thing. It's starting to actually look a little bit better. But to keep the motivation up and keep everything exciting here for us anyways, Connor is getting ready to put on the semi wheels. So you can see on there, he just bolted up an adapter. Can't see it very well. Let me actually just flip this around and I'll show you. So this is our 8 to 10 lug adapter. You can see the 8 lugs there that were on the original GM rear end. And then, of course, the big studs here are going to be what goes to our 10 lug big semi wheel. Like this one right over here. This one was one of the ones that's off the back of Hookers and Blow. We still have the super singles on the back of Hookers and Blow. I'm still sitting here with those bad boys on it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take these for now, since we have them here, and we're going to run these on the back of the bus. And then I just need to get a couple more wheels and some steer tires, and we should be good to go. But you see how much difference there is in size between that 16 and that 22.5. That's a huge, huge difference. So that should fill up the wheel well really, really well and totally change the look of this thing. I'm excited to see these go on and see how much of a difference it's going to make. So I'll bring you guys back here in a few when he's got these bolted on. Oh, these wheels and tires are perfect on this bus. It just never ceases to amaze me how much of a big of a difference it makes if you get the wheels and tires dialed in just right. And these are dialed. This is like, yeah. So real quick before I show you though, went ahead and got some more sanded off of there, and that was actually mostly my nieces and my granddaughter that did that. So I invited them over to be part of the little sanding montage and just have fun with it or whatever, but they got into it and they got excited and they sanded like all these panels up here that was brown a minute ago. Did you guys just see it was brown and not sanded? They sanded all that off, and they went around to the back and they actually knocked out like this little lip around the back over here and all that kind of stuff that we didn't have done yet. So kudos to them, and thank you guys. That was awesome. But anyways, I'm gonna flip this around and show you guys these wheels and tires, because especially now with this thing sanded more, I mean, it's not quite done. We got a little bit left, but it's looking sick. Tell me that is not sick right there. Oh my gosh, that looks so good with those wheels and tires on there. Plus, I'm gonna get you down here to the side. Look at this. They stick out just ever so slightly off the side of the bus, just perfect. We got this nice little roll here on this little trim piece. It comes down and then nice little roll on the tire. I mean, it's like, what more could you ask for? Perfect, perfect, perfect in every way. Only thing that I can bitch about is our wheelbase was a little wrong, so I split the difference, and there's a little closer at the back than it is at the front, and I had to do the same thing in the front where it's a little closer to the front than it is the back. So I'm a little OCD when it comes to that, and that bothers me a little bit, but the look of everything else is so perfect, I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm fine with it. So the other thing you guys probably noticed are all the brand new windows, or, well, they're not actually all brand new. We reworked a bunch of them, and we just cleaned up and kind of repaired all the other stuff that needed to be fixed. So like we had 10 over this window that was riveted over for years and years, and the window frames were mangled, so we had to fix those and kind of get those all straightened up. We got some new glass and everything. We got tint on stuff, and that's looking pretty good. I got a couple little windows left to tint, but not too big of a deal. So anyways, we've got probably 2 days of time in these darn windows, because we end up taking every one of them out and putting them all back in. So a lot of time and effort. So I do got some video of that, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that now.
Okay, so yeah, prime between here and here, it should fall in. Yeah, there it goes. Now the other side's going to be the tough side. Start at the top.
Ow.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were on the outside.
I am on the outside.
Let's just if I can do that one. Okay, I got the window. Ta-da!
Okay, so that's 2 broken windows.
Got that one out already too.
3 broken windows you've got out over there. We've
And
got
I got this,
2 more
the
over there.
screws out over there. Except for one screw, I'm going to need something to, it's rusted, so it's going to take a little bit more work to get that screw out. Those screws are out, but that tin is kind of in the way.
Okay. Let me see that grinder, and I'll cut these rivets off out here.
One grinder for you. I guess I didn't even notice that we have paying any attention to the fact that we have a grinder back there.
This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. This thing is ugly with this green piece of tin on it.
He's about to make it super loud in here while I'm working, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Punch it out of there. Kick it out.
Now look what you made me do. Why would you leave a bucket full of water sitting right there and tell me to pick something out?
That was perfect.
That's on you.
Well,
You get to clean up that mess.
all right. Ooh, it don't look good underneath there though. It's pretty rusty.
I would imagine since it's sitting on it for who knows how long. Where's my pry tool? I'll get that right out of there.
You got the screws out of it already?
Yeah, I just need it.
So it turns out these things come out really easy. There's a couple of screws in the tracks on each side, and then just kind of pry out the old gasket, silicone, whatever type material stuff that's there,
And they fall right
and
out.
it should just pop right out.
Four screws. Now this one's a little bit more because it's got.
This one was all janky and banged up.
Yeah, and then it's got.
You've been prying it, Meyer?
Trying to pry it without causing any more damage than it's already there. There it goes. I'm like trying to catch it like there's a piece of glass that's gonna break. There's no glass. But they do just come into several pieces that we'll have to put back together. All right, so we removed the frames.
And then we had this nice big hole here, and we were looking at how clean that looked, and thinking that maybe we could put a one-piece glass in there.
So we had some plexiglass to fill in the windows of the building upstairs, so we drug one down and cut it up and put it in here to get the vibe and see how it would feel.
Which we could slip it in the track at the top, and we could urethane down the sides here on the back sides of these lips, and then just make a little lip at the bottom here that we could rivet on, and then have the window push up against, and it could be urethaned all the way in. So that was what we was kind of thinking.
And it would be fast and easy and done, and I wouldn't have to worry about putting these frames back together, so I was really liking it, but it kind of kills the vibe of the bus.
It really does. It makes it look like it's from the 2000s.
Yeah, it's too new, too nice for what's happening below. And so...
Which is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, because I like the vibe and the feel of the big window. I like not being able to open the windows was fine. I got all kinds of paint accidentally on the track of the windows. I was liking not having to scrape that off or clean it up or paint. I was liking so much about this idea, but sometimes it just don't work.
Anyways, we just thought we'd share it with you guys real quick before we moved on, because I'm sure some of you will probably see and think the same thing we were thinking when we seen it. So
yeah, we're like, wow, look at how big and open this is. This is great.
take it down.
So, well, you can see the one that I'm in.
Yeah.
Ouch. So, yeah.
Yeah, it just cleans everything up, not having the glass in there and all of the extra stuff. But I think just having these screen things off of there is going to help a lot. I know they're very practical and they make a lot of sense, and they're pretty cool because they're kind of like a brass.
They're very vintage and they're neat, but they're in really rough shape, and most of them are missing anyway.
And it really kind of has an vibe to it after you get to looking at them for a little while. I think it's gonna.
We've been looking at this bus for too long, and we're all over the place on it.
Right.
We gotta make it, which is why, it'll be black, it'll be cool, blacked out, good insulation.
We do have window tint coming though to tint the windows, so
we'll
have to do all of that.
And we'll just carry on. We got way more work to do. We gotta get back at it.
Alright, so in an effort to keep moving forward here on the wiring and get this stuff all finished up, hopefully finally, maybe in this video, we will, we need to finish the headlights. It's kind of where I'm at. I've got the wiring all ran to the back for the tail lights, but I don't have anything up here in the front for the headlights, and I'm going to go ahead and just mount the headlights, I think. So this is what we've got for headlights. Nightlight sent these over to us as well, along with some of that other stuff you've seen in a couple of our past videos. But these are a pretty sweet little LED 7-inch headlight. It's actually technically designed and made for motorcycle is what it's for Harleys and whatnot. And then they've got a little fog light to go along with them, because the Harleys have the headlight and then the two little fog lights, or little spotlights, whatever you want to call them, on the sides there. So yeah, that's what they're for. But they come with these really cool little mounting bucket things here. I don't have any buckets from the original bus at all, so even if we did go and scrounge some of those up to then try to put a modern LED bulb in there, what you usually have to do is some carving and banging and stuff on them to be able to get those to fit. At least that's always been my experience in the past. So I figured these would probably be the ultimate way to go, because we can just screw these right into our fenders and then put our headlights in, we'll be good to go. And it also even comes with a bunch of plugs and stuff like that to be able to mount it to pretty close to whatever we're going to have for options for wiring. I might end up just taking that one plug and cutting the ends of that off and tying it right into my main harness. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. There's another one that's the same thing. So either way, we can make something work here with the wiring, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to get this thing mounted. Just a heads up, if you guys do get these, there is a certain way to clock them, and I just kind of sit here and played with it enough to figure that out. There's a screw here on the bottom that's actually going to be for your beauty ring that would go over the top of that, and then there's like a little slot at the top where you'd slide it down into and then just put the screw in the bottom. So that's your orientation, that's the bottom, that's the top. And if you do that, the headlight actually falls into place there as well too, to where it only clocks one way and fits in the little notches. So like that. So there's our setup, and then it's got a ring that goes over the outside, and I laid my screws over there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and mount the bucket part here first, and then we'll put the headlight in. So before you mount it, you got to make sure and remove all your 1970s window glazing that somebody put in here, and get that all out of the way so we can have a nice clean flat surface to screw onto. And I'm just going to cheat and use some self-tappers and be done with it. Should be fine. Alright, so this side's up. They really do just fit in here just perfect. It's almost like they were made for this. Okay, there's 6, 7 self-tappers. I think that's probably plenty. If that's not enough, then I don't know what is. So yeah, I'll just slip our headlight in there, and voila. Apparently this outside bezel clocks onto a certain direction too here. That looks better. Let's go with that. One down, one to go. And we could still go ahead, and I'm going to look for one, see if I can't find a bezel off of probably like a Harley or something that we can just slip over the top of all that and kind of hide some of this stuff back in there. Speaking of which, on the little 4-inch ones, I did find that there's a bunch of aftermarket housings that these will fit into that are just basically like an old school KC light or something with just a stud sticking out of the bottom, or like your old work lights, you know, from like a tractor or something. So we can just drill a hole in the bumper and sit a couple of these bad boys down here on the bumper. And I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing is sitting some of these on the bumper, or maybe hang them from the bumper. I don't know. If we get really cool and creative, we could actually recess them into the bumper and make a pocket for them, but that almost sounds like work, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We got enough work as we got enough work already, so we don't probably need to create more by doing something like that. There we go. Okay, turn them on, show everybody. That's highs, and then low, and just the marker lights. But those are pretty bright. Well, we're taking the bus out for the first cruise ever. Got Julie in the back, got Brian over here running the computer, checking out everything, make sure we're all good. And I guess we'll see what happens here. I'm pass the phone off to Julie, let her video.
Oh, okay, don't go flying off until I'm sitting again. Eee. Okay.
First stop, well, we need some gas. So we'll run down the street and get some gas.
That's a flooring that I haven't put down yet.
Oh, okay.
Let me do that.
Log that. Doesn't sound like there.
Seems like it should have shipped one more time.
It says we're in second, so it might just be in second.
The fact that none of the seats are bolted down.
Got my triangulation here.
Wedge down on that step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it still thinks it's in second. I bet it is kind of in limbo. You might just throw it clear into first and see if it acts like it grabs it. But I don't think it's in neutral.
Third before it actually went to third.
That was, and so it was saying transparent gear was neutral. Then when he shifted into third, it went 1, 2. So something about how it's reading that might be a little wacky.
Neutral's neutral.
Okay, that's good. I bet it's lined up correctly. I wonder if something in the 1 pin outs or something is just a little weird. Oh, you know, we're not getting any speed.
Okay, so we have honest, there was like 3 different speed sensors on the tranny.
Okay.
And there's only like one of them plugged in.
Okay. So 4L80, you need an input in and output for it to shift. So that might be what's going on then. Because yeah, I'm not seeing it at all here. I'm getting 0. That would make it not shift and do some goofy stuff like that. So we need to look at that. Let me see if I think I can log into it now. Let's see how it goes. Getting input and we're getting output. I'll see how they compare as we go. It's higher than our output. I guess that should be correct in theory. So now it thinks it's a neutral when you did that. Like what the transparent gear pin.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was in first to begin with, though.
Right. I can command gears. Command first gear. See if it pulls any different. They're shifted. Try to command it. Go ahead and put it in G. I'll play with it in the software. Yeah, it's not letting me command
It smells like transmission fluid.
it. It does. Very much so. A lot of it. Let's see if I can see the temperature on the train.
Yeah, it's smoking like crazy.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of overfull. Let's definitely say. Let me try command first. There we go. At least I can command first, I think. I mean, alright, I'll command second. They're shifted. I do have speed now, so that's good.
Okay. What's it saying the speed is?
Like 29. So I don't have any idea if that's even close or not. But
Probably pretty close. Feels like
I
that.
guess this is the stock axle. It's just going to be our tire height. It's going to throw that off, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
Don't you have a train cooler on there?
Yeah.
Is it hooked up?
Yeah, but it might be blowing past those O-rings on the radiator.
Yeah, it's the second. I'll get you first. First. It's not. I commanded third, but the man on the going fast enough to grab the third. See how far off the speed it is. That's 38, 39. It's actually, well, let's see, 43. It's not terribly far. I mean, it's like 5 mile an hour. Like, it says you're doing 45, and that's at 41. So.
I can live with that.
If we ever grab the third or not either.
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, but it's one sec. I would be tempted to double check that the connector on the transmission's not upside down, the big red one. They're easy to get on there upside down. And it'll make it do goofy shit like this.
So, you know where we're at, and as of yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, you saw tranny issues.
And yesterday's video continued on until about 10 o'clock last night when we finally gave up trying to fix the transmission issues in the bus and a few other
Brian
little issues.
needed to go home, so he had stayed all day messing with that, and he left at 10 o'clock. We stayed a little bit longer, still doing stuff, but
Yep.
then we were right back at it early this morning.
Brian came back at 8 o'clock, and he also went home and did some research on
He did some Googling and
what was going on.
found the schematics he was looking for that he didn't bring with him the first time. And
Well, he didn't know he was going to need them. It was
Right.
supposed to be a pretty basic, simple deal, and what turns out end up happening is the wiring harness that we bought and paid good money for
it was expensive.
was
wiring harness.
completely pinned wrong.
It was,
and
it was causing all of the issues was just the wiring harness.
just the wiring harness. Everything else was
So-
good.
So once he rewired everything through that wiring harness, da-da-da!
We went for a cruise and we actually got this thing up and going, and it's down the highway at 75 mile an hour, and we're doing good. So yeah.
Yay!
Now we're still, like I said, almost 12 hours ahead or behind from where we wanted to be. So
Right, because it was all like, hold up, we gotta be
Yeah.
all hands on deck trying to figure that out and stay out of his way in the cab, no other work in the cab area while he's doing that and all that kind of fun stuff. So
I think, long story short, we are still going to probably stay here again till midnight and working on the bus, and then try to load up stuff and leave in the morning.
try to get where we can get. We're probably gonna miss Village Customs Friday night party, but we will be there for the show on Saturday. So hopefully at some
I don't
point.
know if we will or not, but
I checked us in at the campgrounds. They sent an email saying, "Are you ready to check in?" I checked in, so we're there.
okay. Well, we're gonna see how far I can drive, I guess, if I can drive.
Well, until you get
Straight
tired, fall asleep at the, and then, we'll stop at a Walmart, go sleep, get up, do it again.
It's kind of the idea behind the whole bus
You
thing.
won't
So
let me drive.
hell no. Anyways, we ought to give you guys a quick little walk around here of what we've got so far. It is far from done, so keep that in mind. We still have stuff to do,
Still have
but
stuff to do. The visor, I really wanted a visor, and that's just not going to happen this trip. But soon after we get home.
anyways, yeah, then a few other things here.
Few other
We'll flip
things.
this around and show you. So yeah, right off the bat, you can see we need a bumper, and we also need to redo the frame back here just a little bit for a hitch and some stuff. So that's a little bit of work left to do. We still have this piece of tin. This is the only piece of tin that's left in here, and I think it's cool since it's like shaped to fit in there perfectly, and it's been done like that for a long time. I kind of dig that one, and I want to leave it. But we got the tint on these windows. I've not tinted that window yet, or this other little side window here on the back side. Still have to do that one yet. But yeah, we got the side of it all cleaned up here. We've got all of the brown stuff off, except for, I guess, that panel down there. And I think that's about it. The rest of it's pretty well already off there. I'm gonna open up the back door here and check out what Julie's doing. She's actually went to work. We waited on a train. But yeah, we're putting in some flooring back here. We've got a little futon thing going on that she's made all the stuff for, and
It lays flat, and then our air mattress goes
across there.
across here.
Originally, there's supposed to be a wall. Our
Yeah,
plan was to
there's
build a
a
wall
wall.
right here beside that, and then
And
this
then
whole
the
back
bathroom,
area.
That would be the bathroom, and that would be storage.
Yeah,
But
we're not gonna have that for
ran
this
out of
time.
time, so I might just hang a curtain with some magnets for right now, just to kind of separate the two areas.
So,
And these, I put cloth with Velcro, so we have additional storage space underneath the wheel well area. So that worked out pretty good. Same with underneath the futon here.
yep.
Because we need as much storage as we can get because we're leaving all the windows.
And then we got to get the rest of the flooring down so we can go ahead and get our seats mounted. And we've got like a little bit of electrical stuff left up here. I'll show you that. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and we didn't really pay much attention to begin with. So on the other side of the bus, I'll just walk around there and show you, because some of you might not have seen it where we fixed the other side of the bus. We still do need to put a hood on. We still need to do a front bumper and probably some turn signals, and And then on this side over here, though, this side was all wrinkled all through here. It was all smashed and messed up. And when they had something hit it right here and mangle all of that, it hit the rear end. It broke the leaf spring in the rear end of the bus on the original chassis, and then it shoved this tire up into that wheel well inside there, and it actually did bend the floor just a little bit inside there. But I think also when it did all of that and had that car run into that side of that axle, I think it actually flipped the bus over. So I think this thing has actually been on its side. When you start to really look at it, and you see all the scrape marks up there, all these scrapes, I think it's been on its side. I think it just kind of fell over and slid just a little bit on its side over here on this side, which again, I think is cool. I kind of like it. I want to keep it, and I actually would like to airbrush this thing and enhance all of the stuff that's going on with it a little bit more on the outside. I don't know if you guys have seen the fenders or not. We got most of the gold stuff off the fenders and got them back to black. We had that white hood that we're going to get bolted on there here in just a minute, and it is now black. So we're changing the whole look of this thing pretty quick, and I'm really digging the way it's coming out. Let me show you from the inside here real fast what our seating situation looks like. So there's my seat. And then Julie is going to be sitting right here beside me, kind of a little bit. And of course, you guys seen the futon and stuff. We've got a countertop for this and a sink and some tanks to go underneath for fresh water and for gray water and all of that. I've got a little bit of buttoning up to do here on our battery situation. So this is our big battery. Let's see this one here a little better. So this is our big battery from Vatrer. It's the 460 amp hour battery. And then we've got the charger for it sitting right there. That's a 110 charger, so we'll be able to plug that into a shore power and charge that. But then on the top of that, there's a little blue controller there. That is actually going to be from the extra alternator that we have, which you can see we got the stock alternator, and then we've got the extra alternator right there. So that's coming in here and powering that, which will then also charge our battery. So we've got two different ways to charge it. Hopefully the one going down the road will keep it charged up pretty good, and we can kind of go from there. And then we also have a 110 inverter right here, and it's just got some plugs on the end of it so we can plug a few things in like our fridge and whatnot. So that won't be too bad, I don't think. So I do have the backup camera in. You can see Julie walking up the door there with some more pieces she's cutting for the floor. We got our switches all wired up and good up there. We got our little panel in down there, and I've got a little bit of buttoning up of some wires just to make it look a little bit better up in here. This we're going to try to string up and under the bus and come over here on the other side and try to get Julie some 110 on the other side of the bus. And flip here and show you this.
Julie wants a refrigerator, and that goes on the other side of the bus.
So I had this little radio thing here, and Connor actually 3D printed us a box for that, and it just slides into the end of it here. And I'm hoping maybe while we're driving down the road or something, I'm bored, we can just stick this bad boy right up here, and then that'll give us a screen. It's got Google CarPlay and stuff, so we can have some directions and everything. So that'd be kind of cool. And that's all this wiring here for is here for. And we were gonna try to 3D print something like right through here too for like a cup holder and some stuff, but we didn't get a chance to get that done. So one more of those little things like that needs to be done, and we'll try to work on sometime when we got a little extra time later on down the road.
As a reminder, we do have the Ratascoolie stickers. They actually came in the mail today. That's one advantage of staying late, is the Ratascoolie stickers showed up in time.
So we are going to have them on the trip, so that's going to be cool.
That's cool. Obviously not t-shirts and sweatshirts, but they are at hardcorefab.com. Get you one.
Pre-order,
and then when we get back, we'll mess with filling those orders in. So there's that, and I guess we still have to get back to it so we can get on the road. I appreciate you watching. Looking forward to seeing you, anybody who can join for the route stock anywhere along its way on the tour. Take care.
See you guys.